This video has been sponsored by Beltline Hobbies and by the Canfield and Wooster train shows, Saturday, February 15th and Saturday, March 15th, 2025. Hi everybody, it's Chris at the Cloverdale Transit Authority, and this is part 2 of our Christmas layout video series. And of course you saw part 1, which was laying out this village here in our solarium. And so part 2 is going to be getting into what goes on under the tree. Sorry, I meant to get part 2 done before Christmas, but I'm sure, just like you, Christmas totally got away from me, and I'm sure for a lot of people out there, just so many different things going on. So we were excited to get the village done, but we really needed to get the stuff done underneath the tree. And the village gave us some ideas on what we were going to do under the tree that we didn't do last year. A lot of it had to do with scenery and so forth. So I was really excited to kind of tackle that. And also, just to be aware, in this video you're going to see a lot of just trains running. I'm not going to talk as much. I'm going to talk when appropriate. So we'll get some trains running, and then we'll do some more scenery and show you everything that went on. So first off, I had to decide, once we got the tree up and decorated, how I was going to do the layout this year. And I kind of played around with this last year, and I figured out a way to get it to go around the wall that's sort of in the center of our downstairs. It goes into the dining room and through the passageway out into this little hallway. So I got that all laid out with Fast Track, and I was testing my Lionel Chessie speeder on that just to make sure it ran. And of course we had a normal oval inside, but the outside main line is the one that really is kind of cool. We've got this little, what we call the wiggle in there on either side, which allows it to tuck in closer to the tree so it's not going out into the middle of the room so much. So I got that tested. Everything seemed to work. Got the ZW hooked up on it. And then I also ran some other locomotives and a trolley on there just to make sure everything was fine, that the transformer was providing the right amount of power through the entire line, because I didn't want to run multiple drops. But everything seemed to go really well, and it was loud when it was, of course, on the hardwood, but softened up when it was on the carpet. We also put in this kind of little surprise scene as you come out of the kitchen and down the stairs with another one of our Lionel station platforms. So as the trains come around the wall and through the dining room, they pass by the station platform. And of course, I got some scenery set up with that as well. So again, running different locomotives on there to make sure everything was going to work around those little wiggles and power was going to be good. I even toyed with the idea of doing a switch with a little siding, but once we got the snow down, I decided against it. But we'll take a look at that again next year. So the snow comes in this sort of rolled batting and in these bags. And the secret, my wife has worked with this at a couple museums that she's worked at. And the secret is to sort of roll it out and not break it up, and then kind of shape it into the areas that you want. And it allows for, again, elevation and so forth. And we've got it all the way through this, all the way around the little extension that runs through the dining room, as well as what's under the tree itself. So we made sure to tuck it underneath the inside edge of the Fast Track. Made sure that it was clear, was not going to get caught up in any of the trains. But this way it goes right up to the edge of the track, and it makes it look really cool. Now the outside part of the track we left as the edge of the railroad. I didn't want to have the sweeper, as we're vacuuming throughout the season, kind of catch on anything. So we got it all on the inside, and of course the tree basket underneath there was a great way to kind of pile stuff up. So you can see here we've got most of it down. We've got it tucked under the track, and I'm always checking that to make sure as we're running through the season that we don't have anything that's coming out. So here you go. got it all the way over around the transformer, or leaving a little gutter around the transformer so there's area for it to breathe. And this stuff is not, it's fire, I don't know, fire resistant, it's not flammable, but it is not fire resistant. I guess that's the best way to put it. So we're very careful with what we've got set up. All right, now we're gonna start running some trains around here to make sure it all clears this this snow batting, buffalo snow, as it's sometimes called. And everything looks really good. I had to kind of tuck a few things back, and I'm constantly monitoring that when we run. I just kind of do a track inspection before we run anything. That sounds very official. And just to make sure that there isn't, anything that's kind of, sort of sagging over the track. So anyway, so let's take a look at some different footage here to show you what it looks like. And then we're going to go on to doing some more scenery. And you'll notice throughout this video that I do change trains out quite a bit. And this doesn't even show all of the ones that I want to run by the end of the season. But there's some pretty cool ones in here, and I'll continue to do YouTube shorts to show you some of the other things that are running too. So my wife picked up from Skyletti a box of trees with flocking on them, and this was going to be the perfect thing for this particular under the tree layout. And there's bushes and there's trees of different shapes and sizes, so it was pretty cool. And sorry, I keep getting my I'm trying to hold the camera and show this box of trees at the same time, so I keep sticking my other finger in there periodically. But yeah, so I've never bought anything from this company before, but I really do like these trees. They look really nice, and once we get them in on the layout, you'll see that they look really super cool. Yeah, so little tiny pine trees and bigger pine trees, and my wife got them grouped together into, kind of what you might see in nature, where stuff is kind of clustered together, and then also did something a little more curated around the station, because it might be an area where they came in and kind of trimmed the bushes up and made it a little more scenic for the people waiting for the train. So those look really nice. And then we have kind of these little hillsides where she would cluster some of the trees together. and it just, it wasn't like just throwing them here and there. It actually looked like it made sense, like it might be something that occurs in nature. And I know a lot of you out there do the same thing with your railroads, in other seasonal layouts, but it does look really good when you kind of give it some thought to where these trees are going to go and how they are planted, quote unquote, planted next to each other. And here's our little Plasticville switch tower with a couple of our railroad workers who are not dressed for winter, I might add. And so you can see that the trees sort of make sense as they are planted around the little hillsides and around the switch tower and the track. And again, just some running footage, which really just is the best part of having this under the tree. And I hope you've enjoyed this part of the video and part one. And we really had a great time doing that this year. And I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do next year, but we've got to come up with some creative ideas. And maybe some of you out there might have some ideas you can throw our way or take some inspiration from this as well. Thanks again. We hope you have a great holiday. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment. We greatly appreciate all your thoughts. We will talk to you on the next video.